You can do insane damage with rain from above and completely destroy players even at very high ratings. However, your opponents can counter this ability with many different tools, so you need to know exactly when to use it and how to get the most damage out of it. The first thing you need to know is when it actually makes sense to run rain from above. Your normal PvP talent setup is Blood Moon and Glimpse, which you are going to use in every match, and the third talent is reverse magic most of the time. If there is nothing useful to dispel with reverse magic, or if you have classes with dispels on your team, like Retribution Paladin, Shaman or Shadow Priest, you should replace this talent with either Detainment or Rain from Above. Even in matches where reverse would make more sense, you can choose to run Rain from Above to surprise your opponents, especially in solo shuffle. If you have been playing reverse magic for the last 3 rounds, nobody will expect it when you suddenly jump into the air and start blasting, giving them less time to react properly. On the contrary, if you play rain from above every round, people will get used to it and everyone will be ready to counter you, so you will need a good balance. In order to maximize rain from above DPS, you need to do 2 things. Number 1, you stack all buffs you can get before jumping into the air. Number 2, you make sure that you have a proper positioning. Let's start with the buffs. You want to be in demon form and have the Furious Gaze buff to increase your haste by as much as you can. This will allow you to cast more fell lances inside the small window you have while you are in the air. Then, you want to debuff your target with Reverse Mark while you are buffed with XRG and Thrill of the Fight. These buffs will increase the damage of your fell lances by a lot. Finally, you also want to have Glimpse, as I will explain later in the video. A realistic opener with rain from above can be done with the following ability order. You cast Immolation Aura while walking into the arena and then immediately cast the Hand followed by Reverse Glaive. You then cast Eye-Beam to get into demon form and make sure you let the cast finish to get Furious Gaze. Cast Fellblade to get to your target, followed by Fell Eruption, Annihilation and Death Sweep. You now have all your buffs ready, so you can cast Vengeful Retreat to get Glimpse and immediately press Rain from Above. Now comes the fun part, where you just spam your Fell Lance and watch everyone burn. The Hand and Rain from Above have the same cooldown, so you can repeat this sequence later during the game. Now that you know the rotation, let's discuss positioning. The best way to counter Rain from Above is to simply have the entire team line of sight the Demon Hunter behind the pillar. You never want this to happen, and there are 3 things you can do to avoid it. Number 1. Before flying to the air, make sure you have a really good view of most of the battlefield, giving the enemy team few options to line of sight. Number 2. Make sure you're relatively close to your target when you fly, so that they can never outrange you. Fell Lance has a huge range, but if you fly when your target is already 40 yards away, there is a good chance that they can blink backwards and instantly outrange your damage. Number 3. If more than one targets are exposed in the open field and relatively close to you the moment you fly, there is a good chance that you will be able to hit at least one of them before they can both line of sight or outrange your Fell Lance. You basically have to think like a caster who has a lot of damage and does not want the enemy team to line of sight him, so you can take a page out of the caster's book. Good casters never stuck with their teammates and they drag melee into the open field away from pillars and their healer. This way, the melee are exposed, having a hard time to line of sight and their mobility is exhausted. You can do the same. You can kite an enemy melee that is trying to kill you directly into the open and away from your healer or ranged teammates. Use all your mobility to kite, and when the opponent uses all of their mobility to connect and kill you, just fly away. Now, they are stuck in the open, unable to line of sight, with no mobility to leave, and your teammates are away from them, completely safe from swaps. The last and most important buff you need during Rain from Above is Glimpse. Glimpse makes you completely immune to all crowd control abilities and reduces damage taken by 35% from the moment you cast Vengeful Retreat until you reach the ground. This means that if you use Vengeful Retreat and immediately follow up with Rain from Above, you will maintain Glimpse the whole time you are in the air. This offers you 2 benefits. Number 1. Your opponents cannot CC you while you are in the air. Normally, any CC like Polymorph, Fear or Mind Control can work on you and completely shut down your Rain from Above burst. Death Knights can also grip you downstairs, immediately finishing your burst. None of these abilities can be used on you if you have Glimpse, so you are completely free to spam your damage and destroy people. Number 2. The enemy team cannot kill you in the air. While you are in the air, you are doing massive damage, but you cannot use any other ability. This means you cannot use your movement to line of sight ranged players, and you cannot use defensive abilities to reduce damage taken. You are a sitting duck for any range that wants to pop their cooldowns and destroy you. Having a permanent 35% damage reduction from Glimpse makes it significantly harder for any ranged player to target you and kill you. For those 2 reasons, You should never cast rain from above without glimpse. It will make sure you stay alive and that you cannot be countered by your opponents. For the most part. Even if you play your cards right, stack all your buffs, position properly, and have glimpse, there are still certain abilities that can counter you and you should know about them. Warrior Spell Reflection and Warlock Netherward can reflect fell lands back to you. These buffs only last for 3 seconds, so if you don't want to get slapped in the face, make sure you hit a different target 1-2 times and then go back to hitting them once the reflect is over. Shamans can also counter rain from above with Grounding Totem, which will soak all fell lances for its duration. You have to either wait for the Shaman to drop grounding before you fly, or to rely on your teammates to destroy the totem. Monk Transcendence and Warlock Demonic Circle teleports offer an extremely easy way to line of sight rain from above. If you want to make sure you are able to hit them with fell lands, you need to wait for them to use their teleports first and then fly into the air. This is generally not advised. You should just pop your burst when you have all your buffs and you are ready, and once they teleport, you swap to their teammates and keep pumping. The final counter is Druid Ursol's Vortex, which can pull you back to the ground if you fly while you are inside the animation. What you should be doing instead is jump out of the vortex, get pulled back in, and then fly. Aside from doing insane damage, rain from above can also be used for defensive purposes. When you are facing double melee that are consistently trying to kill you, you can use rain from above as an extra defensive cooldown. In this case, you will follow a very specific ability sequence to get the most out of it. In the opener, you will be using all your buttons, DPS and CC, and survive using Blur. About 20 to 30 seconds into the fight, you will get your second Reverse Glaive and your second Glimpse. You will get Thrill of the Fight, activate Glimpse, and use Rain from above. While you are in the air, you are protected from melee, pumping big DPS, and all your other abilities are on cooldown and are slowly coming back. By the time you land, your second Essence Break combo is available to keep pumping. After this, you have a weak window, where you do not really have anything defensively or offensively. If you feel you are dying, you can consider kiting to stay alive. If that is not enough, use either Netherwork or Darkness as a filler defensive spell to stay alive. Between 70 to 90 seconds into the fight, you will have one more Essence Break burst, and you can survive once again using Blur. Following that, you have one more downtime period, where you are going to use whatever is left to stay alive so that you make it into the 2-minute marker. You can now cast one more Rain from above to protect yourself and pump. Finally, once you land, your second Metamorphosis should be back off cooldown and you can push for the kill with your third Blur. Another use for Rain from above is to counter Warrior's Champion Spear. When you are caught inside the spear, Glimpse cannot help you escape, but Rain from above completely frees you from the chain. Both abilities have a 90-second cooldown, so you can save Rain from above to counter Champion Spear every time. A final use of Rain from above is to completely fly away when your healer is CC'd against combo heavy teams, like Rogue Mage. If you have good reflexes and you glimpse and fly into the air, the moment your healer gets crowd control, you can completely deny one burst combo on you. A more simple use vs any rogue team is to fly in the air the moment your stun DR is over. Now the rogue has to wait an extra 7 to 8 seconds to stun you, slowing them down and giving your team more time to get their defensive cooldowns back. If you learned something today, then please go ahead and like this video. If you love to play Havoc Demonhunter, then subscribe to the channel for more PvE and PvP Demonhunter content. And as always, see you in the next one!